Hi guys and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the quads. Now, I like to work the quads quite a bit. Most people, they're quite over dominant in the quads. They spend a lot of time doing squats. Quite often if the quads are tight, it can lead to knee pain and it can lead to lower back and hip pain. So it's a really good place to actually start if you've got somebody coming in with lower back pain. Deal with this first, then deal with the lower back, and you're on to a winner. Now, to begin with, we're going to just do some gentle palming actually. So all I'm doing is I'm placing my hand on a quad and allowing my body weight to just sink in. And then I'm moving down and I'm going over the middle of the quad. Now, the reason I like to do palming is I'm actually connecting with the meridians of the quad. Now the meridians, we've got stomach and spleen, which are the main two going through, and they actually go at a diagonal. So if you imagine the quad like an actual box, you've got one that hits at that angle, one that hits at that angle. So you've got stomach down this side, spleen on the inside. But first I just want to palm over the top. This is really just to connect with the quad, connect with the fascia. And then we're going to go down the stomach meridian on the edge. Can be a bit tender for some people, this one. Now, when you come to work that side, you could either come around the table or you could just change your grip. So you're pressing slightly on the inside toward the outside of the table. And again, we're just palming down. One of the things to also check before you work on anyone's quads is the space underneath the knees. Now, some people, the legs will go flat to the table and there's literally no gap, right? And if there's no gap, that's fine. But if the knees are slightly bent and there is a bit of a gap and you can sort of slide your fingers under, or they've got lower back pain, then you want to use a bolster. So if we just lift your legs up, right, and then it just takes the pressure off the knees and it takes the pressure off the back. Also alters the angle slightly that you're working, but it doesn't matter. So again, to begin, we're just going to palm down the quad. So we're just allowing his body weight to sink in to the quads, connect with the quads. It's a good way to begin warming the fascia up. As our hands stay stationary, sink into the quad, into the muscles, into the fascia. It helps warm the fascia, which then, on the release of your hand, then allows the liquefied fascia to re-knit itself. We're just going to work first down the top of the quad, down to the knee, carefully not to place any pressure actually on the knee itself. And then we're going to work down 2 meridians. So we've got the stomach on this side, the spleen on this. If you imagine the quad were actually a box, like so, you're going in on the angles of the box. So first, if we go down the stomach, again just leaning in, sinking. Now both of these meridians are earth meridians. And I think when you're working the earth, you want to keep yourself quite open and be quite big with your hands and allow yourself to sink deep into the muscles. So that's down the stomach. Now to do the spleen, you could either come around the other side, or you can come down the table, switch your hand, and then just allow your hand to sink in, so that the direction is going from there at an angle out towards the table. And then once we've connected with the energy, and once we've connected with the fascia, we're going to then apply some oil to work the quads. Okay, so now regardless what your client's wearing, it's always worth putting a towel over them, just so you protect their clothing from any oil. And we're just going to bring this up, just so we've got full access to the quad. And we're going to start off with just some effleurage. So we're just coming up, and this is just, so you're doing like a sweeping motion. So first of all, we just begin effleuraging alternative hands, just to warm the muscles. So we do it at a reasonable pace. And then from there we can do a double press and release. So it's kind of following on from your effleurage, but one hand over the top of the other, slide up and then down. And like I was saying before, that working the quads is really good to help out the lower back in particular. Helps with any sort of knee, hip or lower back pain. This should be one of my starting points. And we could try and hit it from different angles. So obviously I did palm over palm there. Put a bit more oil on, a bit more effleurage. Now, petricide wise, we literally, you're like picking, sliding and pulling. Work up the quad and then back down the quad. Now I'd always work at this, so I'm like square on with the quad when I'm doing petricide. And then from there we're going to go and use his knuckles. So when I say knuckles, we're not like tension his hands up like we're going to punch somebody. We're using it, keeping them quite loose, so it's the flat of his knuckles either side of each other, and then you just want to slowly glide up the quads.